Green Run, also known as Tranzit, is the 11th map in the Call of Duty Zombies storyline. Tranzit takes place on October 21st, 2035, making it roughly 10 years since the events of Moon. The start of this saga begins with 4 unlikely companions who find themselves in the middle of a zombie outbreak near Hanford, Washington. The area of Green Run takes in 5 major locations: town, farm, bus depot, diner, and the power station. A friendly mechanical bus driver makes each of these 5 locations easily accessible. In the Zombies universe, Hanford was home to a top-secret US research facility following the incident inside the Pentagon, where President John F. Kennedy nearly lost his life in a zombie outbreak. The United States government created the Broken Arrow Group to study Element 115 and combat the threat of Samantha and the zombies. Broken Arrow are responsible for many unfortunate events and creations. For some reason, they create the Denizens, a strange creature that lurks in the shadows of Hanford. Broken Arrow are also responsible for creating the powerful entity known as the Avogadro. There is more to the story of this Avogadro. We'll get back to that later in another video. Throughout the years, Broken Arrow get their hands on large stores of Element 115, so much so that employees inside Broken Arrow suffer from memory loss. One such employee is a man known simply as Russman. He works at Broken Arrow for many years, but eventually shows signs of Alzheimer's and memory loss. His mind is so broken by the element that he cannot even remember if Russman is his first name, last name, or even his real name. Broken Arrow is eventually disbanded after the primary facility is lost in a fire. It is suspected that the fire was an act of arson committed by employees seeking to destroy evidence of their involvement in a zombie outbreak. After the catastrophic events of Moon, the survivors of Earth form into 2 major groups. One group call themselves the Flesh. The other group is simply known as the Followers of Maxis. The Flesh believe that by eating the flesh of zombies, their minds are enlightened. Because they had eaten the flesh of zombies, this group are able to hear the voice of Edward Richtofen, who still remains in control of the MPD. The followers of Maxis hear his voice through electronics. This is because, if we will remember, Maxis merged himself with the electronics of Griffin Station on the Moon. Both Maxis and Richtofen try their best to persuade their followers to build global polarization devices. These devices are also called spires, and structurally they are crafted of pylons. The 2 groups maintain a state of equilibrium over the next few years, neither group gaining advantage over the other. Both of these groups meet a rather tragic ending on October 15th, 2029. The 2 groups are led to an area near Hanford, Washington, where the first spire needs to be constructed. Here, somewhere in the area called Green Run, the 2 groups face off. They battle until only a few survivors are left. Maxis and Richtofen are left with no one to communicate with at Green Run. The 2 reach a stalemate. One of the only survivors of the battle was Samuel Stuhlinger. After wandering around the area for years, Russman steals a bus from an abandoned Broken Arrow facility. He bumps into Samuel, and the 2 begin traveling around the area in the bus. At a diner near the Hanford site, Russman and Stuhlinger find 2 other survivors: Abigail "Misty" Brierton and Marlton Johnson. Misty is a mystery in many ways. We know next to nothing about her before the events of Tranzit. Marlton hid himself inside a fallout bunker beneath a nuketown in the Nevada desert during the events of Moon. Sometime over the next 10 years, he makes his way to the Hanford site and meets Misty. These 4 characters make up what would be known as the Victus crew. Finally able to communicate with people in the Hanford area, Maxis and Richtofen both begin to speak to the Victus crew. Maxis through electronics, and Richtofen through Samuel, who was the only one among them who had eaten zombie flesh and could communicate with Richtofen. The crew have the option to follow either voice. Although Richtofen's path is always an option, it is canon that Victus follows the voice of Maxis and aid him in constructing his spires. Upon hearing the voice of Maxis inside the bus depot, the crew band together to build a portable turbine which gives them access to hidden areas. Beneath the bank is one area that hides a broken pack-a-punch machine. The crew unwittingly unleash the Avogadro while turning on the power to the area. Maxis instructs them to turn off the power as it interrupts his communication with the crew. After turning off the power, Maxis instructs the crew to use a portable power source to charge the pylon and complete his objective for them. The crew place down the portable turbines around the bottom of the spire. Maxis informs them that another source of energy is needed. While an electrical storm rages above the cornfield, the crew use an EMP on the Avogadro. They collect energy from the Avogadro, and using its power, they almost succeed in powering the pylon. Maxis informs them once again that one additional source of power is needed. Using the portable turbines once again, power is siphoned off from a lamppost. This completes the tertiary system and powers the pylon in favor of Maxis. With the pylon at full power, Maxis is thrilled with our progress, but one thing is left to do. Using parts found around the map, a nav table is built. Maxis explains that this is a control mechanism. The computer is meant to link up with 2 additional spires found in complementary positions around the world. An application Navcard is found near the bus depot. This Navcard will be used to link the pylon near Hanford with another pylon found atop a crumbling skyscraper in Shanghai, China. Richthofen, although disappointed in them so far, still believes he can persuade the Victus crew to help him. He uses the power granted him by the MPD to teleport Victus to Shanghai, China, and the next map in the Victus storyline, Die Rise. Although Die Rise is the next map narratively, we must take a slight detour and investigate the next map in the Call of Duty Zombies storyline, Nuketown Zombies. And that, my friends, is the story of Tranzit.